goat trotters, goat feet, stewed, filled with this bubbling, like it looks thick from the collagen and the fat bubbling cauldron of broth. And you can just see how thick that gravy is.
Let's make the most gelatinous stew that Mark shows in his viral Pakistani food video. Hi and welcome to Cooking Alif Be, literally translating to ABC of cooking. And today I'll be making an Eid special delicacy, also known as pie. Now, if you're into feet, then listen closely as I'm about to direct your weird fetish towards an amazing South Asian recipe. We are attempting to make a cow trotter stew. You can also replace this with goat or lamb trotters, as seen in Mark's video. Just for reference, this is what a cow trotter looks like. Notice the cow toes? Now if you're really into it, I suppose you can use camel toes as well, but I'll stick to cow for now. So without wasting any more time, let me walk you through the recipe, which starts with 400 grams of roughly chopped onions, 15 cloves of garlic, and ginger in equal weight. All of these go into the blender, and with a turn of the knob. Okay, I think I know what went wrong. I should have either used a chopper or chopped onions a bit finer if I wanted to use a blender, but now I'll just add water to get this started. And behold, now we have a paste, which is probably overly watered, but that's okay, you'll see. Now we are going to make our spice blend. For this step, in a coffee grinder goes 2 tablespoons of black pepper, half teaspoon of Nigella seeds. Nigella is also my favorite milk. 1 teaspoon of Carom seeds, 1 tablespoon of cumin, 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds, 1 big stick of cinnamon, 15 pieces of cloves, 15 pieces of green cardamom, and finally 5 pieces of black cardamom. And with the press of a button, they will turn into a powdered spice blend. Now, I know the list of spices is long, but I just happen to have them lying around because of my heritage. If I don't keep all spices known to mankind, my parents are gonna smack me. Just like I want you to smack that like button. And now we will start the cooking process. Like I said before, I'm using 1.8 kgs of cow trotters as they contain a lot of meat, and who doesn't love a mouthful of thick, juicy meat? Then into a hot pan, I'll add 200 grams of vegetable oil. Please don't use Jamie virgin olive oil because we need a high smoke point for searing. By the way, did you notice my new pan? I spent my entire life savings on it to celebrate 1000 channel views. Add trotters and start the browning process on high heat. We want to sear them until the color changes to a darker one, not unlike a South Asian girl washing off her makeup.
Emotional damage!
After 10 minutes, we have achieved the desired color, and now we can add our onion, garlic and ginger blend. Normally you will need to cook this for another 10 minutes to achieve that color, but because I fucked up by adding water, it took me 3 times longer. But I have no life, so it's okay. And finally our onions are brown, so we can add our spice blend and cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. You should probably reduce the heat to medium at this stage to avoid any burning. Roasting or frying spices unleashes their flavor, which is a technique very commonly used in South Asian cooking, just an FYI. And if you thought that was the last of the spices, then you would be mistaken, because now we will add 1.5 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 5 bay leaves and 2 large whole onions, peeled of course. Now I got confused between curry leaves and bay leaves, so I asked my other half for assistance, and somehow I missed recording addition of bay leaves and onions. But written instructions are on the screen as well as in the description, so you should be okay. And finally I added 4 liters of water. You should add 3. I'll tell you why later, along with 300 grams of yogurt for some acidity. Now I'll increase the heat to max and wait for a boil to come. I said wait for a boil to come. I learned in 6th grade that covering the pot will help speed up the boiling, so I'll give that a try. Wow, that actually worked. Now reduce the heat to low and ignore it completely for 6 to 8 hours. Just like I ignore all the requests you guys leave me in the comments. Kidding, I never get any comments. Now if you're in a rush or you actually have a life, I recommend cooking it in a pressure cooker for 60 to 75 minutes. So guys, 7 hours have passed, and just see the tenderness of this gooey, collagen-rich meat, and my mouth just waters when I see big hunks of meat. Notice how it's just falling apart from the bone? You can see it's so soft. I'll remove the onions as their flavor has been released into the broth and we don't need its pulp. But I still think the stew could be thicker. Perhaps 4-liter water was a lot and next time I'll add 3 liters. For now I'll just boil off the excess water. And at the end I'll salt to flavor because who doesn't love salty, warm and thick stew, which is now ready to be served. So I'll layer on meat after meat to this large bowl and then let the collagen-rich broth flow seductively over the meat. Now traditionally, it is enjoyed with a naan bread. However, I do think it's great with a spoon as well, but any bread will help in cutting down its richness. And speaking of enjoyment, see how sticky the fingers of my right hand are? Which is a sure sign of relief and fun you feel after vigorously exercising it. So guys, today I showed you an authentic recipe of Lahori cow trotters, which is so good that every time I try it, my face automatically gets like this. Now I know I can't make a perfect yummy face like Mark does, so I'll save you any pain by even trying to. I hope you loved this recipe and are going to give it a try. If that's the case, I hope you hit like and subscribe. You'll find all the ingredients along with their quantities in the description of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.